As a consultant, do you need to have a lawyer review all of your agreements and proposals? Hey, it's Michael Zipursky from consultingsuccess.com, and this is a question I received recently from a consultant in the community. I'll share my response with you, but I just want to say, to be very clear, this is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm only sharing my own experience and the experience that I have and the observations that I have of working with hundreds of consulting clients personally and training thousands of others over the years. So again, this is not legal advice, but this is how we handle it and what we see is in terms of being a best practice. So number one, in the vast majority of situations and cases, you will not require a lawyer to to write or to vet your consulting proposal / agreement. And that's because a true consulting proposal should not require you to have tons of legalese and a lot of stuff that would slow down the sales process. The moment that your contract and agreement has very heavy kind of legal details, then most buyers, what they will do, if they're smart, is take that and then put it to their lawyers or their legal department, and that slows down the process. So our recommendation is always, make sure you're going in with a very trusted relationship, a partner that you want to work with and that you feel good about. Set out very clear terms and responsibilities. But ultimately, right, in most consultant situations, they're not going to go through the trouble of legal processes if something didn't work out in the project. It's most often just better to go, to work with the next client, focus on building your business rather than getting all, sucked in and pulled down into legal issues. However, number two, right, this is the kind of the point of differentiation, or the distinction I should make, which is that if you are working on a more complicated deal, a multi-million-dollar project, if you're working on a percentage type of deal, a percentage of sales, a performance-related deal, an equity deal, then yes, you should speak to a lawyer or attorney. And in most cases, you don't need to have them draft or create some massive document, but at least taking what you have and drafting it up, or spending a little bit of time with them, asking them some questions, can really help you to cover bases and to see things that you haven't seen before, or that you wouldn't be able to see yourself because you don't have that legal experience. And it's important to talk to someone who understands your business, who understands your industry, who is located in your area, or at least understands the laws of the area that you will be operating in, because every jurisdiction, every state, every province, every region can be different, and every country, of course. So it's important that you get the advice from the right kind of person who understands your business and understands your operating area. But for most projects, a lawyer is not required. You can use, like we provide to our clients as part of our Momentum program and our Clarity Coaching program, we have trainings around a proven consulting proposal that has generated millions of dollars for people who have used it over the years. That does not require a lawyer. However, if someone was to use that and the project they're going into has elements of equity or elements of a performance deal, or is a more complicated structure, or even let's just call it a multi-million-dollar deal, then it would make sense to at least speak with a lawyer or an attorney to make sure that your bases are covered, to make sure that you're not missing anything critical. But it's always good, even at that level, to try and keep the document as simple as possible. Because the more that you complicate it, or the more terms that are written in legal language, the more potential confusion there is, the more that slows down the sales process. And that's exactly what you don't want to do, right? You want to keep things as simple as possible. So again, not legal advice here, but that's how we've approached it over the last 19 years of building consulting businesses, and what we have seen with many of our clients who have been doing this also for 10 plus years, in terms of we've worked with consulting clients for the last 10 years. So the work we've done, that's the same advice that we've offered to our clients, and has served them very well. But again, not legal advice. Always make your own decisions, seek your own counsel on that. But that's how we've approached it. So I hope that helps.